Hi, this is a quick overview of my 112 turn project. It's a falling sand game, and basically what it does is it lets you draw particles of different elements on the screen and then watch how they interact with each other. Just as a quick overview, you can see over here there's some elements, and when you click on them it selects one. Pretty simple user interface, and there are all kinds of different elements, and when you draw them over here in the game area you can see how they interact. So I'll go ahead and draw some walls. This one just sits here. It doesn't really interact with other things, but when we, for example, pour some water on it, the water falls down and makes a pile on the wall. This lets us do some pretty cool interactions with different elements. So of course the water can pile up, and for example, if we put oil in, the oil will float on top of the water because it's lighter. So you can see that there. Another cool thing is elements will interact. So for example, if I take some salt and put it in the water, you can see there's little bits of salt water forming there. And then of course there's all kinds of different things. Fire goes up, so the particles of the fire move upwards, and of course they get stuck on there until they slowly go away. And the water can be boiled off to turn into steam. There's all kinds of cool interactions within here, and you can actually make elements that don't exist in the sidebar. For example, when I take the fire and boil it off, you can see there's little bits of steam there which you can't make from the sidebar, which is very cool. Down here there's controls to pause, clear, and quit the screen, so right now I'm going to clear it. Quick demonstration of some of the sort of things you can do. You can make a container for water, fill it up, and then let the water slowly drip out onto like a torch, for example, which will boil it off. And then if I do this right, then the water can kind of fall down this little ramp, and then we can have some ice up here which will catch the steam coming off. So if I get rid of that, there you go, you can see the water's falling down, coming up, it hits the ice and condenses back into water, which I think is pretty cool. There's a ton more here. I don't have time to show them all, and the goal of the game is kind of to discover how different elements interact. But for example, there's a pretty high attention to detail. So if I have a piece of wood and I draw some fire on it, you can see the fire slowly starts to catch in the wood, and the wood burns slowly, and then as it burns out, it drops particles of ash. Also, another example is here. If I clear the screen again, of course you can pause it so the particles stop moving, so you can draw stuff. If I have a big pile of sand on a wall, and then the sand piles up nicely because it's a powder style element, but if I drop some water on it, it turns into a liquid style element and collapses. So that's just a quick overview. I hope you can check out my project and maybe play around with the different interactions between the elements.